How's it going, guys? Today we have another first impressions card review for Trial of the Gods, and today we're going to be looking at the light cards. So let's jump right in. At 1 mana, the first card we have is Field Medic, which adds 2 injured soldiers to your Void. And in my opinion, this is definitely a 4-star card because it's going to be imperative if you're running Olympian type decks, which needs Olympians in your Void. You're going to be running this for sure. This is better than Trojan Golem. In my opinion, for those types of decks. So 4 stars. Next we have Veteran Uplight, another Olympian, and this deals 4 damage to this creature, but then you're typically playing this with the heal god power, and if you're playing this, you use the bag of tricks and you heal it for 2 right away, so it becomes a 1 mana 2/4, which is essentially a skeleton heavy, but then the other turn you're gonna heal it again, and it's a 1 mana 2/6. So it's like it's basically a pyramid warden for only 1 mana. So it's 4 stars in my opinion as well. Then we have Dowsing Plate. At the end of your turn, it's a 1 mana. At the end of your turn, move the chosen one 2 cards closer to the top of your deck. And Afterlife, give +1/+1 to the chosen one. So you're gonna be playing this, and you're gonna leave these cards there just because you're gonna be playing this in a chosen one type deck. If you use the chosen one, it moves 3 cards closer to the top. Together with this, it's 5 cards closer to the top. So at max, you're gonna have the chosen one in less than 6 turns. But then you're gonna use other types of cards, so the probability of you getting the chosen one right away is gonna be super quick if you combo this with other cards. So this is definitely a 4-star card in my opinion. And as you can see, loads of 4-star cards already with Light, because Light has been one of the gods that got really good cards. Then we have Fortify. Draw a card, give a creature at the end of your turn. If this creature is full health, is at full health, gains +1 health. Otherwise, you lose it for 1. So basically, it gives regen +1 to a creature. On top of that, it draws you a card. For me, it's a 3-star card because it would need to be like, for it to be worth it and be really good, it needed to be 1 mana cards. Since it's 2, I'm gonna put it in the 3-star category. Then we have Olympian Guard. And the Olympian Guard, in my opinion, is a 4-star card because first of all, it has frontline. And second of all, as soon as you summon it, like at the end of the turn, because this effect is at the end of the turn, as soon as you summon it, it's a 2 mana 2/3 with frontline, which is the same as a Shield Maiden, for example. But then typically, if the opponent doesn't deal with it, it goes up to a 3/4 for 2 mana with frontline, which is awesome. So it's like 50-50. If the opponent doesn't have a way to deal with it right away, this gets buffed. So it's perfect. You could also like combo it, but that's for the future. Then a Burden of Proof. Draw a card for each of your creatures with 2 strength. So if you're playing a card with only like 2 strength creatures, which is like a thematic in Light, you can do that. This draws you as many cards as the creatures you have in your board. I don't know which one's better, the Thaumaturge together with Golden Harpy combo or this one. Maybe this one. So I'm gonna have to put in the 3 stars because I don't know if this is really good or not. Then we got Fated Arrival. Draw the chosen one from your deck, give it Warden frontline, and this 5 stars. No, I'm joking. Not 5 stars. It's 4 stars. It's not like bonkers end of the game type of card, but anything that allows you to draw the chosen one right away. On top of that, you're giving it ward and frontline, so it's gonna be super hard to deal with the chosen one, and he's gonna have to deal with it first before he gets to the other creatures. It's bonkers, man. So it's upper end of 4 stars, almost 5 stars, but not enough. It would need to like buff it +2/+2, for example, to be a 5-star card. If it did that, it would be 5 stars. Then we got Blessing of Light. Gain 5 favor. If you have a relic equipped, it gains at the end of the turn, gain 5 favor. So this can be comboed with something else. But I don't know to which point gaining 5 favor every turn is enough. And you're spending loads of mana for this. So I'm gonna have to put this in the 3 stars. It's an okay card. The problem is I don't know if it's worth it for you to lose that much like mana momentum just to get 5 favor every turn. If it was 10 favor or something like that, then yes. But for that, I don't know. Then we got Parthene Democracy. Draw a card. Give +1 health to each creature in your deck. So this is one of the first cards that buffs everything in your deck. There's other cards that do that, but it's like it has to do with favor and stuff like that. So it's pretty tough. But I like this card. The problem is it's 3 mana. So I'm gonna have to put it. But the thing is, like, I would consider it +1 health, half of 1 mana. So for this to be worth it in terms of mana cost, you would need to at least summon 6 cards afterwards. After the 6 cards, it's positive ROI. So I'm gonna put this. I'm reluctant to put it in the 4 stars, but I want to put it in the 4 stars category because anything that buffs the deck can be super good. Then we got Battle Priests. Gains 2 favor for each enemy character, so it's another gain favor type of card. The stat line's not bad. It's a 2/4, but in my opinion, it's okay. I'm gonna put this in the 3 stars. Then we got Healing Light. Gain 4 favor. Fully heal each friendly creature and give them +1 health. If you're trading a lot of cards, this is good. The problem is this is 4 mana. I think it's too much for this. It needs to be 3 mana in order to be worth it, so I'm gonna put this in the 3 stars. Then we got Tartessian Sentry. At the end of your turn, give this creature +1/+1 if it has an attack since entering the board. Roar, give +1/+1 and War to the chosen one. This card can be super good, because if you don't touch it, it doesn't have frontline. So if you don't touch it, this gets buffed like to infinity. It's kind of like the Deception cards that get buffed every turn. The difference is that it doesn't have hidden. So the combo you would have to do is put a frontline on top and keep having frontlines, and this keeps getting buffed. So it's pretty good. I'm gonna have to give it 4 stars. Then we got Trial of the First Pillar. All creatures have their strength and health set to 2. Summon a 2/5 pillar with frontline and can't attack. So basically, it summons you a 2/5 pillar, which requires 3 trades if everything's 2/2. So essentially, it's kind of like a board clear that gets rid of 3 cards from the opponent. The downside is it potentially nerfs your cards as well. So I'm gonna have to put this in the 3 stars because I think the other board clear for light's much better. So 3 stars for this one. Then we got Lysanders Mercy. Pull each creature on the board onto the bottom of their control's deck. This is much better, especially if the opponent has a bunch of cards on the board and you don't have that many. It's a full board clear, so this is definitely 4 stars. And then finally we have the dragon. I've gone up against this dragon of the first pillar, so it's pretty tough. Basically, it's at the start of your turn, give 1 strength to each friendly creature, and then you can choose whether it gets 4 health or 2 strength. So, and it always gets. Well, you can choose to give it backline or frontline. If you give it backline, it's a super aggressive type of card. If you give it frontline, it's a defensive wall. I would much rather put it backline because giving +1 strength to each friendly creature is super OP, especially if you're running those 2 strength to health type of cards. It's just gonna keep getting buffed, and you're gonna steamroll through the opponent. So for me, it's a 4-star card. And then we have the extra cards we have here are gonna be Bardelli's Parthene Orator. This creature gets +1 strength for each enemy creature and 1 health for each other friendly creature. So on average, you're probably gonna be getting like a 3 mana 4/4 or a 3 mana 5/5. So it's a pretty good card. I'm gonna have to give it 4 stars, but not that, like, the effect's not like gigantic and not amazing. So then we have Parthene Shieldmate. It's a 3 mana frontline. After this creature is healed, give it +1 health, and then it gives War to the chosen one. So another card for the chosen one type decks. It's not that great, but if you keep healing it, it keeps getting buffed, which is pretty good for the heal God Power combo. So and then we have, I'm gonna keep the relic and the champion for the end. So we have Isadora, Daring Patrician. Backline at the end of your turn, summon an Olympian card. This is a pretty good card. You've seen this in the Sanctum in a lot of our games. It's an okay card. It can be pretty good if it's left on the board. The problem is it only has 2 strength and 2 health, so that's pretty weak against board clears. So even a wildfire kills it. So I'm gonna have to give this 3 stars. And then we have Aetheric Alarm. After you summon, after your opponent summons a creature, summon a 1/1 Aetheric Echo with frontline. At the start of your turn, this relic loses vulnerability. So I've gone up against this, and this is like bonkers. I'm gonna have to put this card at 5 stars because it basically gives you a stall for 5 turns. Like for 5 turns, the opponent cannot do anything, cannot summon creatures, because you're always going to be putting front lines for each creature they summon. So it's freaking crazy. So I'm going to have to give this 5 stars. It's really, really good. I've gone up against this. And then the type of combos that you can make, because you're basically protecting everything that's behind of all of these front lines. So you can do crazy combos and stuff that can get buffed, or if it's left alone, it's absolutely bonkers. This is crazy, man. So for me, it's the 5-star card of this set. Then we got Lysander Spear. It's a pretty good relic for what you get. For me, it's 4 stars because it allows you to buff cards, any card, and it only removes 2 durability from the relic each time you do that. So it's pretty nice. It's like kind of like giving the chosen one buff to any card of your choice. So it's a pretty good card. 4 stars. And then finally we have Lysander, Champion of Lights, with frontline ward. At the start of your turn, completely heal this creature. After a friendly creature is healed, they gain 1 strength. So imagine playing this with, for example, Odysseus and stuff like that, and completely healing the board. Everything gets +1 strength, and this card can roll on forward super fast, and it basically keeps healing itself. It's kind of like a Dionysian Bowl, but actually it's like a Dionysian Bowl. The difference is Dionysian Bowl is regen 4, so this would be regen 6 at least, because if it's 7, this just dies. So this is pretty freaking good, and you can combo this with heal so that it get buffs twice. So if it's like at 4 health, you heal it to 6, and then it gets healed again, so it gets 2 strength that turn. So it's freaking awesome. 4 stars in my opinion. And those are the light cards. I hope you guys like this initial cards impression, and make sure you tune in for the next card review / impressions video. See you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye.